probably won't be on too long, but I know I've got a nurse coming in a little bit. She's going to rewrap this leg before I go home
Well,
tomorrow.
just know you're in our hearts and prayers. So you got
Yeah.
this. We'll shoot clean up when you get home, but you got this.
I mean, I am amazed at where it's been. It's like, whoa, this ain't too bad.
Yeah.
But when somebody is cooking and sitting in your face, and you eat what you get.
Right.
Yep. And sometimes you just gotta be grateful and take the punches and do the best
Yeah,
you can do.
just go.
Yep.
That's all we
Go.
can do.
Hey.
Yep.
Well,
Good job, Sue.
yes. Good job. We love you and miss you. Do you want to check in real quick while we're on? Come and check in first before you gotta run.
Uh, I don't know what else to say other than
You're still doing good.
Still doing good. You got it.
And the she's
Oh,
froze.
she's froze. There went Sue. So, all right, guys. Hello and welcome, everybody. I am Tammie.
I'm Lance.
We're the Journey to Healing team, and we are here to help you through your journey, your keto journey, your lifestyle, your whatever you want to call it that you need help with. That's what we're going to help you with. So it's one of those, we show you how to live this as a lifestyle. Not, this isn't just a 5-week, 6-week, 8-week course. This is how we live life. This is how we keep building health at the cellular level. So we are coming off of our third week of 72-hour fast. Again, this is an advanced chemistry. This is not something beginners, we don't push our beginners to do this. This is once you're fat adapted, once all the chemistry is moving right, then we push you into these 8 weeks of 72-hour fasts. We are on week number 3, and I will tell you, as much as you struggle with thinking you can go 3 days without eating, this is the best I feel every time we do this. So if you haven't tried it yet, it is phenomenal. As crazy as it sounds, trust me, I sat back with my arms crossed and said, I'll do the program, but I will never fast because I will die. I mean, that was literally my thinking in it. And I will tell you, this is the best I have felt, especially for 2 years since my heart attack, but even clear back to chemo. The day they put chemo in my body is when everything blew up and changed on me. And when I'm fasting for these 72 hours is the biggest and the best changes I have had since the day they put chemo in my body. So don't kick it, don't knock it down until you've tried it, until your chemistry is completely ready to carry you through a fast. Don't knock it, because I promise you it'll be changes you never dreamed possible.
Yeah, you don't know what it does for you. I mean, it goes so much further beyond what the physical things, the physical benefits you get out of it. I know this time around, mentally, I'm in such a better place. I don't have the cravings I used to have for the after the fast meal. I don't reload so heavy. It's very, very light this time, which is really nice. And I don't have a problem with the snacking like I used to. So, I mean, it's really got a lot more this time around. So I don't know about you, but I've had the best numbers that I've ever had. I mean, I'm consistently down in the 40s and 30s, and I mean, I'm close to getting teens. I've never been in that territory. I mean, I think what second week I woke up with ketones of 5.0, which I've never had. So it's
But in your defense, I think this is the first time, as many times, this is like, we do this on a routine. So we do this a couple times a year. We've been through this, but I think this is the first time Lance has actually taken it serious enough to stick with it completely.
Yep.
Not half-assed, not, oh, I'm going to go ahead and have a little butter in my coffee or just a bite of this.
Simple stuff like butter in the coffee in the morning. I closed up that eating window to 1 hour every day.
Yep.
And it just rocks and rolls, man. So, like I think yesterday I had a DVR, or this morning I had a DVR of 41. I had 2 meals yesterday, so I had one in mid late morning, and then we had one later in the afternoon. They were small, very small portions, but it was enough that my eating window was open that wide, and it kicked me right up. So I started out the day at a DVR 20. The next day I doubled it. So,
but I will say, yes, in both of our defense, yesterday was tax day for us. So we spent the day at the accountant. So there was a little bit of stress between those 2 boluses of food that we ate. So it was one of those. But again, those little teaching moments on our feeding day that, all those little steps count. As you clean it up a little bit better and a little bit stronger, it just gets better and better. And as you get cleaner and cleaner, that is where those numbers, I cheered on, and I'm so proud, but it was at night, so it's not a true reading of where my metabolic health is. But I had like 5.9 ketones. I had a DBR of 11. So it was one of those for me
Yeah, that was
to even do that, even at night, I'll take it.
this was at 11 o'clock at night. I mean,
I'm laying there,
it's
it's like, I
bad.
feel it. And it's like, but just to know my body can do it, I think was such an assuring thing, because those of us that have really strong metabolic, broken, damaged bodies, it gets discouraging when you keep doing the same thing over and over, and you're diligent and you live within those boundaries and you don't push the boundaries and you do all the right things and your body still does not kick in. Sometimes it does get maddening that it's like, dang it, I'm doing the work. I want to see results. At least know that my body can do this. And I will tell you, to see that.
It was actually at 12:14 a.m. this morning.
Wow.
Glucose of 66, ketones of 5.8 with a DBR of 11.
Cannot figure out why I couldn't go to sleep. Now, then, but again, it's just, it was a stressful day with taxes and all that yesterday, but to know that my body can do it. So I'm saying that to encourage all of you. Stick with it, work through the steps, clean up that eating window, get that eating window moved towards sunrise, and everything in your body will kick in. It is hard. It is not always easy. Sometimes it just flat out sucks, but I'm telling you, this is the process to turn it all around. Hang on, let me get my chat up here. Yes, thanks, Joan. Joan, you got to tell me, is it Joan or Joanne? I think I call you about every other time I say it different. You got to tell me which one it is. What makes the DBR lower in the morning and higher at night? Okay, so your DBR is usually the other way around for most people. It's higher in the morning because that is your true metabolic health.
Oh,
And
that's
when you wake up in the morning, you've got that dawn effect hitting you. You've got what's not cleaned up out of the liver hitting you. You've got all that noise, or all the stuff going on the inside shows up in that morning reading. So your DBR will be a little bit higher. That is the one that we use to judge where is your metabolic health, because that's the one that we lead with, that morning one. The afternoon ones, like I said, mine was in the evening or middle of the night actually, but those aren't a true, yeah, my ketones were great. Yes, my glucose was down, but that's all relative to how much have you moved around? How much energy have you burned? There's too much noise in that number. It's a nice aha moment to look at just to know my body can do it, but it is not a true reading of my metabolic health. My metabolic health is not at a DBR of 11 by no means. So I'm not kidding myself thinking, woohoo, I've arrived. No, I still have tons of work to do, but to know that my body can do it, even if it is in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep, I'll take the win. So it will. Joanne. Okay, thanks, Joanne. I know.
I have a question on that, Tammie.
Yes, ma'am.
So I've had really weird sleeping patterns over the last 3 weeks now. And I'm still waking up at 2 for some reason. It's not my ketones, it's just probably hormones. But like, okay, so there've been a couple of instances where I am like, I basically just get up at 4:30. By that time, I'm like, I'm tired of it. And then I feel my ketones, right? And so, I'm not up, right? But I'm kind of just like praying. I'm kind of like, doing stuff for myself before I get up. So then I just break my finger. So I get numbers like teens, like 11, 12s, 13s, right? And then, but then I get up and then I go feed the dogs, get my workstation ready and then log on at, around 7:45. So before 7:45, I go and prick my finger again. And then it's like my glucose is like now all of a sudden at 22, which I know I know, but like, I mean, like, so I mean, at that point, when am I up? Like at 4:30 because I'm praying, or at 7 because, or like before 7 because I'm like, I'm actually up?
I would just pick one and go with it. but be consistent in that. If you're always going to check the one at 4, then always go with the one at 4. If you're going to be, if you lay back down and go back to sleep and you get out of bed at 7, then go with the one at 7, I mean, or 6 or whatever, but pick one and be consistent in it. So you're comparing apples to apples.
Right.
You want to be able to, what it is today. If that's a consistency right now, that will change. I mean, my sleep will be messed up too, but I will tell you, last week I slept like a baby. Like your sleep system will change, your habits will change as your body gets used to the ketones and the different glucoses and stuff like that. Your sleep, as that sleep gets deeper and deeper, that BDNF will rise and help those ketones and all those things start to happen. But we got to get you to sleep. So my first goal would be for you, try to stay in bed, try to sleep as much as you possibly can. If you can't, then you got to work through some sleep protocols to figure out why are you waking up, what's going on. But pick one and stick with it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a wave too, because I noticed it, when you first get into it, your ketones may rise, but your liver may overshoot what actually you need. So you'll make a lot of ketones, but if your body doesn't know what to do with them, they go out, and so your liver makes more. And you got to get that. It's like a cause and effect thing of the scales, and those scales do this, and then all of a sudden it gets smaller and smaller, and then finally they balance out. But that motion, that procedure takes a while to happen, and then things will level all out, and you'll make the right ketones for what you're using, and you'll get better sleep because everything won't overshoot. The more you do it, the more it's same thing as like working out. The more you do it, the longer you can go, the more reps you can do. The more you do it, your body gets accustomed to it. So don't try to overanalyze too soon. Try to just kind of ride it out and see how things are going, and then kind of adjust them slowly. Don't make drastic adjustments, because then that tips the scale again in the opposite way. So you keep overshooting everything. Just kind of let it ride and just make small changes here and there to get that balance.
You'll get there. You will. You'll get there, Monica. So good job. So come on in. Gina, you want to come check in? Gina's new to the group. Everybody welcome Gina. She's first couple weeks in.
Yay.
Hi, Gina.
Nope.
Oh, you're muted, hon.
Click the mic. Yep, you got muted. There you go.
What does checking in usually mean?
Oh, well, actually, good question. Let us explain that to you. Come in, you give us kind of how your week has went, how everything is going. Give us a win, give us a low. If you have a question or a struggle, give us a question or a struggle. If you have something we're going to celebrate with you, share it. So just do a quick little rundown of where you're at and numbers.
Where you're at, how you doing.
Oh, okay. So I started really doing this. Remember, I went on a 3-day fast myself before I actually started with you, and got my blood sugar down to like the 110, 120 range, 120, I would say, from 300.
Wow.
But ever since I've been doing this, it just slowly keeps rising. Even though it's, I would say, 5% carbs. I mean, like if I had to do macros, it's 200 grams fat, 70 grams protein, 5 grams carbs. Just so rough macros. Twice a day, 16, 18 window. Moving it back to 3 o'clock noon. But I just can't. I don't know why the carbs just slowly keep. It's like they just kind of go up a little, and then they kind of level, and they go up a little bit more each day, and then they level. And now I'm at like 170, 180, and I'm like, I can make the ketones, but now my DBR is taking a dive because the sugar just keeps. And I'm like, well, where are you coming from? I'm not eating you. I mean, unless it's the protein, but still, I'm trying to keep the protein around 70 grams. I'm trying to keep it at 50, but boy, that's hard. But 70-ish, 200 grams fat. And
Gina, just know the one thing at the beginning when you first start like this, so you are starting with really high chemistry. So you said it at the beginning, you were in the 300s. So for you to bring it down, to have a 300 glucose, you're eating some major carbs. So it's one of those, or like we were talking with you.
Problem. Yeah.
Right. There's other problems going on. So that's what we're trying to figure out. But
Right.
when with your glucose still rising on that, part of that, if you are not consuming them, it's coming
Yeah.
from somewhere. So that means usually it's pulling something out of storage because right now your body is so Helen, hey girl, so glad to see I'm gonna hug her. But it's pulling glucose out of somewhere. So if you're not ingesting it, think of it as it's, it's stirring the muck in the bottom of the pond. You're going to pull it out. It's going to come from somewhere. And the goal is to not put any more in, burn
Right.
it off, and use that glucose, get it out of you, and be done. And don't refill that liver up. Don't refill that storage unit up.
Think about how long you've been putting that in storage. How long have you not been doing this correctly, or been eating carbs, or however your system is based?
Right.
How long have you been doing that? So that's how much storage you have. So it's going to take some, you're going to get some good numbers, and then your system's going to shove a bunch of it out again, pull it out.
Oh, that's why you can get like some days I'm like, oh, I got good numbers. I got to back down to
Right.
140, 150, and then it goes back up and I'm eating less
Right.
carbs.
Right.
I'm
So
like,
you're
how
not
is that?
you're not putting any in.
Lay
So
down.
your body is having to go find some.
Lay down.
And it's like, oh, you're not can't hear Lance. Okay, Lance, you guys.
All right, I got to speed up. I
All
gotta project a little bit better.
No, Lance just likes to recline.
I do.
So if it's pulling glucose out somewhere, you've just got to keep doing it. Do not add more carbs in. Let your body keep pulling them out and clean house. Think of it as the spring cleaning. It's just going to keep pulling some out. It's going to keep getting better and better. And that's a gradual thing. It's just, but to go from 300 down to 140, 170 even, you've made huge progress in just a couple weeks. So that is ginormous. That is amazing. So good for you, and keep going. That is just that slow and steady is going to win this race every time. And we've got to clean up that glucose by, first of all, pulling out and cleaning it out and getting rid of it. Second of all, by not putting more in. So the bucket is already overflowing. Do not keep pouring more in the bucket.
Consistency will be your key.
Yeah.
It really will.
Yep. Good job, Gina. We're proud of you. Nice way to get going.
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it until. That's it. Until, period.
And I can't wait to check in with you tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Come on in, Audrey.
I just want to ask a question relating to what we're talking about.
Yes.
Charles, my husband, says that we've only got 3 days of glucose stored in the liver. But you're saying 25 years or what? Or 40 years probably for my guess.
I mean,
So that's a whole lot more than that.
Have you ever heard of fatty liver? That is just glucose just getting stored in there. Glucose is also stored in muscles. Glucose is stored in fat cells. Glucose is stored everywhere. So it's one of those, you got lots of places. I mean, I'm a big girl. I got lots of places that that glucose can go hide. So
that was a good question, Gina. Well done.
Yes, very well.
Yeah, because I mean, it answered. We also wonder why our blood sugar just is still sky high. Yeah.
Right. It is.
Other than that, where am I at? I don't know if you saw in my post in your Facebook page that I ate something, and I've broken up in an allergic reaction.
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't get into that one.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of itchy all over, and
not good.
I feel for you.
It's not pleasant at all.
Yeah, use a different soap. Look what happens. You just.
Oh yeah. It's not pleasant.
It's not. Keep ketones in circulation. Keep that DBR as low as you can get it, and work through the histamine response. So.
Well, that's what I wrote in the post. I'm really hoping the ketones do the job. Do their job. Yeah.
Yep.
Other than that, just plodding along.
Good job.
One day at a time.
Good. Keep going, Audrey.
You got
it.
it.
That's what we're doing.
Right?
Yes.
All right. I'm coming in and picking on my girl, Helen. I love you. I just couldn't wait to see you. I want to hug you and go cry all at one time. I don't know what. So if anybody doesn't know, Helen is one of my warrior sisters that has kicked some cancer's ass, and I'm so happy for her and proud of her. And she's done all the hard work, and now she's rebuilding, and it's just, life is hard sometimes, and she has been a trooper.
You got it.
She's been a trooper through the whole thing. So come on in, Helen. Come and check in and tell us how you're doing. And I'm so happy to see you.
Yes. Hang on.
Hang on, we'll get you.
we go. Thank
There
you.
you go.
I could not figure out how to take it off. Tammie, you look so great. I haven't seen you for a while and you look wonderful. Just wanted to let you know.
So
Go to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I went on vacation in January to an island and it was perfect timing because I was able to shed my hair and my hats and start going natural. So
Nice.
I love it.
so I came back without wearing a hat. So that was great. But
Isn't that a freeing feeling?
it is, yeah. People keep telling me how great I look with short hair. I don't like it, but I'm getting used to it, I guess. So yeah, so I'll just share with you that so I was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer last year, and I completed chemo in December. My oncologist wanted to keep me on immunotherapy until a year out, and I did not like the side effects of it. And I did some research on the drug and found that it really doesn't have a major benefit to me. Like, it had an effect for stage 4 and it gave them like 3 extra months. But for my stage, it really didn't seem to have any good effect. And so I decided that I was going to substitute nutrition and metabolic methods instead of that drug. And so I've started doing 72s every week since I dropped that in January. And we also got a sauna at the end of the year as well.
Nice.
So I've been doing sauna and 72s, sticking to my program for the most part. And yeah, it's been really interesting. My weight really hasn't fluctuated at all. And I have thrown in sardines. And the first time I did it, my numbers got a lot better. And the following week I did a water fast, and then I decided to do sardines this last weekend. And I didn't get the results I was hoping for, but I was talking to my others from my 21 day. I was talking to Denise like out loud about what had happened during the week and realized I had been under a lot of stress. I had an argument with my daughter. My ceiling started falling down in one of my bedrooms. My husband got to work and his car died. It's like, oh,
Life happened.
I think I've had some stress. Maybe that's why my numbers aren't great.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
But you know what, Helen? I think what a blessing that you're able to stress about something else besides fighting cancer.
Yes,
As
absolutely.
silly as that sounds, that is
No.
such a good feeling to feel like, you know what? Life is kicking me now, not cancer. So there is a blessing in that. So until you've had cancer, it's hard to understand that feeling. But I like being worried that my car broke down or being able to even care that my car broke down. So but I love how you, and if you listen to the cancer survivors on my pages, and that those of us that truly understand this process and work through it, when you believe in it that deep, when you feel it to the core of who you are, you have to be comfortable to say, no, I'm going to pass on this, but I am going to do this. Whatever that is, or there's no one size fits all. And I will not ever tell anybody, oh, don't take your treatments, do this instead. But I'm telling you, when you get strong enough and you believe in this program that much, and you can say, I can comfortably say, you know what, I don't know that I want to put that in my body, but I know what I will do. Ellen, I am so glad you found that peace and that strength. And I could not be more happy and more proud of you and the journey that you've been on. And it's just beautiful to see one more person kicking cancer's ass by being healthy and building metabolic health. That is what we're here for.
I just want to say, I want to throw out something too. So proud of you, Helen. I love seeing you. But I want to throw out to the beginners in the class too, and the people a little bit farther back on their journey. Helen knows what the building blocks are. She knows the basics. She's been through that part. What she just said was going back to the basics and doing what she knows works. She goes back to her sardines. She went back to her fasting. Those things work, period. So don't ever forget those building blocks that get you to where you are, because you'll refer back to them time and time and time again.
At any stage, whether you're a
Yep.
beginner, an intermediate, advanced, or fighting for your life.
Yep.
It's the same chemistry shift. It's just how much grace are you allowed to put in there? How much grace are you going to give yourself? How much grace are you going to say, oh, it's okay if I eat this? No, it's not. When you're fighting for your life, those little choices that we all chirp in our head and argue about or throw a pity party over, when you're fighting for your life, those decisions are so damn easy. I mean, it's not even a question. Do I want to live or do I want to have whatever? I mean, it's when those decisions become that relevant to your health and your life, it helps make the decision making so much easier. And again, Helen, I'm
Yep. So proud.
so
Just-
proud of you. And I'm so glad you jumped on.
Yep.
We
And
love
just-
you. We miss you and you're in our prayers.
Thank you. Just to let you know too, my husband has been really supportive through cancer, and he's joining me on the 72s.
Good job, dude.
Are you doing Sunday through Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right. We need to touch base. We got to get in with each other. So we're touching base through the fast.
Okay.
Tell hubby hi too. And
Yes,
we
tell
love
him
you.
hi.
Oh, I do have a quick question. Are you still using the Life app? Because it seems like it's not
It
working.
disappeared. They took it down. They
Are
took
you
it down.
using something else?
Yes, the one we're going with right now. I've checked out a bunch of them, but here's the sad part. Most of the other ones over there run ads for food and recipes and all kinds of things over there. And I'm like, who puts a fasting app and
Then
puts
throws food on
throws food on it? Like, are you trying to torment us? So anybody that has the upgrade of Chronometer, the gold version, I think it's only like $30 a month. Yes, you got to pay a little bit for it. I can put the link over there. I think it gives you a little discount, but Chronometer, the paid version, has a fasting section in it that you can set up your fast. You can say stop and start. Doesn't have the fun little circle like Life app had, but it's in there. You could make notes under it and stuff like that of how things are going, what you did different, anything like that. So if you don't have the paid version, if it's worth $30 to you and you're going to hit the fasting, I like having it. So this is I just started using it this time through the fast. So I'll play with it a little bit more.
I'm going to throw out something too. I'm kind of glad that the Life app is gone, because I don't watch the clock. I just do it. And I don't say, oh my gosh, I got 48 hours left to go. Or, oh my gosh, I got 62 hours left to go. No, I forget about it. I do it, get done. Oh, wait. Wow, it's Tuesday afternoon. Cool. Tomorrow I get to finish this, but I don't keep track of the time, which I think actually helps me.
Yeah.
So there's another way to think about it.
You just don't get to see who's doing it with you, though.
Yeah, this is
Right.
true.
That's true.
That's what I wanted it for.
Well, what we did do for that, I don't know if you looked over in the group page, we have a post going up every day of the 72. So
Oh,
check in at 24, check in at 48, check in at 72. That goes up every day during that over in the big group. So
Okay, I'll check
get over
that.
there,
Over
check
at
in and let us
Healthy
know.
Families Begin at Home. That's the Facebook group, just in case anybody out there on YouTube needs it.
Yep. We love you. I'm so glad you're here. I can talk to you all day.
So I'm just
Right.
awestruck. It's awesome.
Right. Come on in, Nance. Come and tell us how you're doing
Hi, Nancy from Florida,
in the nice warm weather.
FLA.
Yeah. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, just hit my funny bone.
Oh,
Eee. I didn't hit it hard. I just hit it right on the wrong spot. I'm doing great. I'm having to eat late sometimes. I mean, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock yesterday, today, I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock, just cause, and that messes my numbers, but it is what it is. I have appointments. I'm driving, I'm on the road.
yep.
Win for me last Sunday, I turned down a keto peanut butter pie.
Oh man.
My keto and their keto,
Two
is
different
not
Right?
exactly the same. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm just finally getting my legs, steady.
Good for you.
So I was like,
Nancy,
no, I don't
that's
want to.
huge.
I want to keep what I'm doing.
Yep.
So that was a good win for me because it's hard. It's hard.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's at church, so you think it's good, right? Yeah.
It probably was good.
Yeah, but that's okay. I don't even miss it. I feel good. I'm struggling with my ketones, but that's just going to take me some time. I did a 24-hour fast. I talked about that a little earlier, which is good for me. I don't think I'm fat adapted yet. I'm trying to gear myself up to do the sardines, and I just have to follow. I have to follow my body. I can't always do
Yep.
it. And but that's my hope is to do that. And I keep doing the bone broth. Oh, Gina, I'm so excited for you. You're doing great. From 300 to 100 something. That's fantastic.
That's awesome
Right.
too.
That's
Exactly.
to me, that's unheard of,
Right.
to bring it down that low. So good for you.
Oh,
And
thanks. Have you been there before with the high blood sugars?
no, but I'm a nurse and I know blood sugars.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm very acquainted
Yeah,
with
yeah.
diabetes,
Yeah.
So, but that's just fantastic. I'm just so excited for you. Just keep on going.
Yeah, thanks.
Those sugars come out of everywhere, so, and they'll just do that,
Yep.
but just
Yeah.
keep going. So
Yep.
I'm thrilled for you.
Oh, thanks. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So, and where is she? Helen, thank you for your story. That's awesome. I'm excited with you.
Yep.
I can't wait till I can get myself to be fasting with you all. I'm just not there yet.
No, just
You will get there.
You will get there. It
Yeah.
will, when it's
And
ready.
and that's what I've got to, I've just got to realize I've always been slow, I'm tagging behind, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Um,
Everybody's clock is different in
Right.
this.
I can't force myself to be fat adapted. I
No.
can't force that.
I tried.
So,
It don't work.
yeah. And I don't do good with fasting if I'm not fat adapted. Trust me.
Yep.
I just can't do it. But I did get to do that 24. I was really excited. I had to push toward the end, but I did it. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, those ketones. I'm trying to push those ketones up, and they'll come.
They'll come.
Absolutely.
As that glucose comes down, those ketones will go
And
up.
I don't know. Can I talk? I can talk about the GLP thing, right?
Yes, you can.
I'm seeing this doctor who's I don't know, a DP something. I don't know. I pay her $99 a month, and I don't really have to go in all the time. I just had my first appointment today. I had a meet and greet a couple of weeks ago, and she's getting me the prescription for the GLP, and I can't wait to start that. It's coming in tomorrow, by the way.
Nice.
Good.
So I'm hoping that's going to be a game changer for me, with a lot of different things. So
If anything, it gives you a jump start. You know what I mean? It kind of gives you like a defibrillator paddle. Kaboom! Get your body say, "Hey, wake up."
Yeah. And with being back on track, I think it's gonna, I'm hoping, I mean, it could, it still could, fall through, and not do for me what it's done for everybody. But I'm just excited that I have the opportunity, to try it out.
Yep. Keep working.
And I'm hopeful.
Nancy, there's so many teaching moments in everything that you're saying. And Nancy's one of those that her chemistry is like mine. It doesn't come easy. And sometimes it's just damn hard to get that chemistry ball rolling. And Nancy, I'm just proud of you for sticking through it. First of all, I can see a difference in your face and your skin. You got the glow. So things are turning over. Does everybody
Yes.
understand that when you will see people, when their chemistry starts to shift, they get the glow. That glow, you will see it in everybody's face. Now I look at it this way. If your skin is turning over and hitting a glow, what do you think that's doing to the cells on the inside?
Yeah.
So take it as a win, but I'm proud of you for sticking through it. And I know it's
Yeah.
not always easy. And,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't ever mean to push too hard and just keep encouraging to keep you moving forward. And I'm so proud of you and everybody where she's talking about the GLP-1. Just know this, most of us work really damn hard to get off the medications, but sometimes, and this is one thing I have had to take grace and learn about, sometimes your body just needs some help. Now, that doesn't mean you jump ship and don't have to do the work. It doesn't mean you jump ship and don't get ketones in circulation. That doesn't mean this is a quick fix or a crutch or anything like that. It is just another tool to have in your toolbox to use if your body needs that help. And Nancy, I can't wait to see what it does for you. And I think that food noise that you have, I can't wait to see what that does. There's going to be so many little things that you're going to be able to, I think, help you through some of those struggles. And I know you've been so persistent for so long. I hope it's going to give you that edge to get you
Yeah.
moving.
Thank
So,
you.
I
yeah.
want to say kudos to you too, dear. 24 hours.
Yes.
I know that we talk about the big 72. I've always said to get started though, you need that 24 to do a 24 as many times as you can do that, until you get used to it.
It's comfortable.
You have to be able to start somewhere and build up from that. I mean, if you can only do a 24 right now, if your body chemistry is only there, if your mental capacity is only there for a 24, then rock it out. Rock out a 24. Do that 8 times.
Do it good and own
You know what I mean? And do it good. And yeah, then it'll progress. It might progress sometime to a 36. You have to take the steps that your body and your mind are willing to take or are able to take. But every step in the right direction is the way to go. So, I mean, some people go faster, some people go slower. It doesn't matter. We're all on the same direction, all on the same journey. And I just kudos to you, dear. If that's working for you, make it happen.
All right. Monica has a question. She's wondering, is there a code for Keto Mojo? There's not a code, it's just a link. And when you go in on the link, it will give you the discount that's available. Do you have the link from the website or do you want me to grab it for you? You got it. Anybody that's needing to order supplies or anything, go to journeytoketo.com. Our lifestyle stuff is over there. Lifestyle favorites are over there. You can get just about every supply that you need to do this program over there. If it's not on the lifestyle favorites, go down to the Amazon store under the same link under that same heading in the website. And all of the Amazon things are over there too.
And if you look on that page of our lifestyle favorites, if there is a code to use, it is usually right under the picture. It'll say use code blah.
If they give us a code, we share it with you guys.
Absolutely. So most of the time though, when you click on it, it'll take you right through with the right link. So
no get you there. So
and Susan J.
Susan just jumped in. So come on in, Susan. Do you want to come and share real quick?
She came from YouTube.
Yay.
Ask her to unmic.
Yep.
She's
unmuted.
There you go. Hi, Susan.
Come on in.
Wait. And Susan J.
Susan just jumped in. So, Susan, do you want to come and share real quick? You just got to hit mute on your YouTube.
Yes, hit mute on your YouTube.
She's been a trooper through the whole thing. So come on in, Helen. Come and check in and tell us how you're doing. And I'm so happy.
I am.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Did you find it?
Zoom. No.
Thank you.
She's unmuted. Susan, you're unmuted.
She's fine unmuted. She needs to hit mute. You have
Wonderful. Just wanted to let you know.
Susan,
Oh,
you need to turn the volume off on your YouTube.
It should be the speaker button on your YouTube screen. If you just click it, it will mute it. It will be down in the corner right next to the pause and the play button on the left-hand side.
I found.
Did you find it?
One more time. Okay, I found it.
All right, good. What we get when you join, if you have YouTube playing, it will give feedback. So it's like a 5-second delay, and
It'll drive you
it'll
nuts.
mess with your mind. So
Yeah, I just put it on mute actually.
that's the way it works.
That's how you do
Figure
it.
out how to get out of it. So
That's
Welcome.
welcome. Come on in and check in.
thank you. It's been a while since I've been, in this group. It used to be on Monday.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then you had the shoulder surgery, and so I faded away.
Then the other shoulder surgery,
And then
and
another-
other shoulders.
Okay.
Repeat that times 7. So we're back.
Okay.
Shoulders aren't worth the hoop, but we're here.
Glad you're.
I didn't leave keto. I went carnivore for a while.
Yep.
And as a confession, I've been a patient of Dr. Gundry for a long time.
Yeah.
But he looks at the labs and he makes comments, but it's no help at all if you don't know what you're doing. And so the last time I saw him, Miss Carnivore, he said I was eating too much protein. And some of the keto websites promote a lot of protein and you're not eating enough. And but all my labs were worse. That's what he said. Oh, too much protein. So I have to start, it's like starting over almost. But so far so good.
Good.
I
Good
haven't
deal.
rechecked the labs. That's coming up later.
Well, Susan, one thing to keep in mind with that, a lot of us have a carnivore mindset, but I say here, I want you to have a carnivore mindset, but a keto chemistry, because the keto chemistry is where the healing comes from, the ketones in circulation, which means, yes, we can have a carnivore mindset of fat's pretty much my foods of choice and foods that are going to be on my plate, but it's going to be a scoop for some kind of fat to go in. You have to lead with the fat to have those ketones in circulation. That's the difference of keto and carnivore is ketone, you lead with fats, which makes you lead with ketones. The ketones are where the healing comes in. The ketones are where all that magic happens. You got to get the ketones in circulation to do that. Just carnivore can do just exactly what you're saying. Eating too much protein is just going to raise that glucose back up. We're trying to bring the glucose down, clean out the liver, get ketones in production. So the difference of keto and carnivore, of why it's so important, of keto mindset or carnivore mindset, keto chemistry. And I think that's the winning combination of the two. And if you talk to most of the veterans in here that have made major health issues taken care of and gotten better, it's carnivore mindset, keto chemistry. So good for you for noticing it though, and welcome back.
Thank you. Sardines are my friend.
Right?
Yeah,
As much
and
as we hate to admit it.
There's another thing too that, even to get me on this journey, she said I could have as much meat as possible
At first.
at what I wanted. Well, come to find out, that kind of bit me in the rear end because I would overeat on my protein.
Lance could eat his body weight in roast.
Meat is my friend. But I also am learning now this time through, protein is I'm really watching my proteins, and for every bite of protein, I'm having 2 or 3 bites of fat. It's just a carrier, basically. It's probably the best carrier, but you want to get that fat because the keto lifestyle is based on fat. You turn your body into a fat burning machine. Remember, you have to feed that machine after you turn it on. Protein won't do it. It's the fat that does it. So just kind of keep that in mind. I mean, carnivore is easy to go for. I love it, but if I really want to get to healing where I want, I've got to go with the fats.
Well, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Right? It is
I can
trying to
eat a
get off.
stick of butter a day, no problem.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, we have what Sue's son, Jeff, he used to melt a stick of butter in hot water and just drink it all day. He like it actually wasn't bad. Salt it up and melt the butter. It's actually not bad. I tried it with him. It was funny.
No,
Me and butter get along.
Lady on Sundays that she's lost a lot of weight. What's her name? I forget. But she puts butter and then I added walnut, so it's It's like a cookie.
Ooh.
Mm-mm. I'd be careful on the walnut, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to have
Oh,
carbs in
there's
it.
protein in there. That's good.
Yeah, but there's more carbs than you realize. So
Then you know. Okay.
be
That's
careful.
good to know.
Be careful. Put it in chronometer and show yourself. Nuts are a hard lesson to learn because everybody's like, oh, they're high in fat, or oh, they got this. When you put those nuts in chronometer and find out
Comes with
really
a
how,
cost.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
haven't got that.
and most people do not have a serving, which is usually a couple nuts or a couple peanuts or a couple whatever.
You have the bag, if you have the bag of peanuts,
They're going down.
you gotta multiply by the serving size.
Right. Joanne has a great question. How do you know when you're ready to move to the next level of keto continuum? Now, this is different and relative to which step are you on. So first of all, when you become fat adapted and you start skipping meals on accident, when your chemistry lets you say, hey, it's lunchtime and I'm not really hungry, that's a great sign to say, okay, you're ready to start advancing and start skipping a meal. If you're at 3 meals a day and you finally get to one of those meals and you're like, you know what, I'm okay. That is your body saying, hey, I'm learning how to use some fat for fuel. You may not need 3 meals a day, but you got to get through each of those steps first. Now, if you're at 2 meals a day and you get to that second meal and you're able to stay totally clean in between those meals, you get to that second meal and it's like, you know what? I'm really not that hungry. When those things just start happening, is good signs that your body is becoming fat adapted, because as you start to live and be able to utilize the fat that's in storage in your body and you be able to utilize that a little bit easier and a little bit quicker, that's how all of us become OMAD without an issue. We're OMAD now and it's not hard. It's not, oh my God, I'm just grinning, bearing it or white knuckling it through OMAD the rest of the day. It's you eat, you get your mind off of it, you stay busy and you're fine. That's when you know you're fat adapted. So each step is relative. So Joanne, if you want me to walk through that with you a little bit in class this week, make sure you let me know and I'll talk you through that a little bit and see exactly where you are and how to move you through.
I have a question on that, Tammie.
Yes.
So I've been doing the fasts and I've been doing fine. But again, this last one was the hardest I've ever. It was bad. It was hard physically, not mentally. I promise. I did everything that I could. Sorry, I feel horrible. Allergies are just terrible. So I don't know. Anyway, I haven't skipped a meal. I don't forget to eat. Food is always in my mind. Um, I don't think that's, I don't think that's healthy for one. But number two, I don't know that I'm ready for another 72-hour fast, right? For this week at all. So like, yeah, for those of us that are struggling like that, even OMAD is really hard for me. If you can believe it, like as much as I can eat, I can't do OMAD because I'm actually really full, right? And like the textures, the fat, like I can't just like eat butter is just it's just really it's hard for me, right? I have to I have to work with it. So yeah, am I there then? Am I not? I
You
just
know what?
became fat adapted too, so
Yeah. So with you, again, one of those, because you do have the brain noise, you do have that constant hunger. That is where, to be frank, I don't know what the answer is for you if you've got thyroid, something going on, because I know how hard you work at it, how long you've worked at it, how much you hit the macros, you're doing the work, and to still be that starving hungry, not just mind game, not just you want to eat, but I know when you say you're gonna punch somebody in the face or chew your arm off, that's a different feeling. That's a different thing than just your mind is playing tricks on you and telling you you want to eat. I'm curious about it too. So I think,
okay.
still hitting those fat macros, pushing when you can, kind of like Nance. You're going to have to push as hard as you can when you can,
Yeah.
but you're going to have to give your body that grace to figure it out. And, the other thing I will say in all the classes that Dr. Boz is talking about and teaching, if you have access to maybe ever try the GLP-1, that mind game that it plays, I never realized how much it's supposed to be helping with the head game and the hunger. So I'm telling you, it's just, I never in a million years would have dreamed that drug could do so many things for so many people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm just scared to do the fast again because I mean that was really, really hard for me last week. So yeah.
Then back out and just just
Yeah.
hold your ground where you feel you can stay stable,
Mhm.
like not and not be miserable We don't want you miserable. And if this is
Yeah.
just miserable all the time, you're not going to stick with it. You're going to crash and burn. You're going to shit. Get to where it's comfortable. Get not gee, this feels good. Push. Make it.
Yeah.
You want it to be embrace the suck. Where you can still embrace the suckiness in it and say, okay, I'm doing something good for my body and be okay in it. But don't get to where you're ready to just crash and burn and run.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to join a 48.
There
And
you
then
go.
if not, I'll just if I feel like I did feel like last time, then I'll just end it when I feel like it, because again, it was miserable. But anyway, my voice is terrible.
That's okay. Hope you feel better, hon. What I would do, I'd really encourage you to still set up that 72-hour mindset. Push till you can comfortably get through, and then finish out that 72 with sardines or something, so that you're still working on the mind game. You're still working on that portion control. You're still working on all the things that our mind needs to be working on to succeed in it. But don't push past to where you're dying again. I don't want to see you go backwards. You've worked too hard, you've stayed too consistent, but hit those fats, hit the proteins. But when you when you start the fast, go into it as far as you can with a decent push, embracing the suck, and finish out with sardines or some kind of commitment. Finish out with pork belly, finish out with sardines, something that's not a celebration meal.
Sounds
You kind of
good.
got you kind of got to get that balance
Yep.
between pushing and pushing too hard. I mean, you got to work some, but if you're working to exhaustion, maybe that's not right at this moment.
And thank you for pointing that out, because that's my personality.
Yeah.
Maybe
Try
I'm
to
all
be
in to do
nothing.
Try to be an
everything.
overachiever.
I'm all or nothing.
Yep. Yep. And you know what? Part of this is, and this goes across the board, this is everybody. Part of it is learning your personality, because each of us have different personalities that you got to work on. Me and him are total opposites. I mean, he's a abstainer, all or nothing, and I can do moderation in bits and pieces. It's not a right or wrong. It's just you have to know who you are. You have to know what
And
works
then
for you.
and once you know who you are or how you think, then you can go ahead and come up with a plan that suits you
Yeah.
by staying in these rules, but that suits you. You got to do what you got to do for you. Like even with like Nancy, she's doing a 24, and that's
success.
success for her at this point. Same
Yeah.
thing with you. I mean, and I was going to bring this up too when you said when you were talking to Joanne about you just kind of fall into it. There comes a point in time where you can maybe, hey, I'm going to try this, and if you hit a brick wall when you're trying it, like you want to try to move to OMAD, or go from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day, or close your eating window, and you hit a brick wall, I mean, that just slams you, that's telling you something that, hey, this might not be quite right. So you got to kind of take a step back, look at it, and it was like, was I pushing too hard, or did I not push hard enough? You got to find that balance, but you also got to realize too, hey, this might not be right at this moment in time. Not that it isn't right later, it's just not right now.
Yep. And you
Can
will
I make
get,
a quick comment to Monica?
yeah.
So Monica, just so what Lance is saying is, is what's right for you, right? It's just kind of funny that for me, I can't wait to get into a 72-hour fast. I mean, I want to be in a 72-hour fast. My body wants to go. I have to listen to
I
Tammie
had to push
Lance
Gina
and
backwards.
not. She's, they're like, stop, 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 stop. So it's kind of just funny that our bodies are all different, right? And for me, it's like I don't want to. I want to not eat. Please let me not. I like it, and some bodies maybe just don't. And so it's like even though I'm over on this end going, let me do it. I
Girl, I'll eat for
can't. So
you.
what?
I said, girl, I'll eat for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. We could get together. You could eat. Yeah, you could eat. Yeah, exactly.
I'll leave
We
my
tease-
plate and your plate, and then
Yeah.
We tease Monica and say she's got a tapeworm. I don't know how the girl puts this much food down, but she can put it down like there's no tomorrow. And it's just one of those, we've got to figure that out.
But you got to think of it too. You got to do it in a healthy way. I mean, Monica's struggling with one end of the spectrum. Gina, you're at the other end of the spectrum. You got to do it right, or it's not going to stick. That's the thing. You can do it for a little bit. Like my dad always says, I always throw this out. You can drink kerosene for a while. You really can. For a while until your body says, no more. You know what I mean? So you got to do
That kind of like cyanide.
you got to do the healthy way. You know what I'm saying? As your body lets you.
But again, it comes down to there's 12 steps of keto continuum and you have to master each step. And Gina, with you just starting, that's why I said we got to back you up, get those fats right, get the macros right, get your body fat adapted, get all those things going. Then we'll push you along where Monica's at. Now, Monica's already done those steps. We just can't figure out where the tapeworm's coming in at for her. So we'll work it out. But again, even though we haven't figured it out yet. And I'm being honest, I don't have the answer for her either. I wish I did. But it's rough because she keeps pushing. She keeps doing it. She doesn't jump ship. She's not over every weekend doing, overeating on carbs or binging or anything like that. She stays consistent. It's just trying to figure out there is still a piece of the puzzle missing for her. Same thing it was for me. I do it. I would go into the fast. I would push, but my chemistry would just not get rolling. I would fight for every damn ketone I made. I would fight for every drop in my glucose. And you just got to keep working through the pieces of the puzzle. We were talking with our marketing people today, and Susan, have a good day.
Thank you, Susan, for coming
thanks
in.
for coming in. We were talking with marketing today, and it's one of those things that's like, what I had somebody message me, it's like, well, what does a health coach do? And it's like, you know what? To be able to come in and have fresh eyes on your health journey. And it is so much easier for me to come in. I can see what you do. I can look at what you're eating. I can see your time frame. It is so much easier for me to look at one of you guys and say, I can tell you exactly where we need to clean up a little bit, get you going on the right track, make sure you're doing all the steps. But it's hard to do when you have to look inside and do that. And I think as a health coach, that's where it is easy and nice to go out to somebody else's lifestyle and be able to look and say, okay, just like she's saying, it's been a stressful week. So, okay, you can't always fix all of that, but you know what? We can work on your macros. We can make sure you're getting your protein. We can make sure you're getting your fats in you. We just may not be able to handle the cortisol right now. So next week, cortisol will be down. So now we're going to get cortisol in check and macros and fat and protein. That'll all be in check. You're going to get one step further into that ball rolling in the right direction.
It just keeps building on itself.
Yeah.
And the more you talk about it, Monica, the more somebody in the group may have your magic answer for you. You know what I mean? So don't ever give up. Keep going. But at some point, it will come out, and it's like, whoa, there it is.
I think Monica's one of those I almost need to ask Boz the question, like, what's going on with this girl's chemistry? Because she does the work, she's put in the time, she's dedicated, she's doing it all, and that to still have that
damn gremlin, I'm telling you. I
So
hate it.
everybody our age, remember gremlins? Remember if you give them water at night, they turn into little munchkins. So Monica's kind of like that.
That's how much I eat. That's like more. I mean, you guys, I'm eating like 2,300 calories. The good thing though is that I'm not like gaining weight, because I probably would have. I don't know. That's what's so weird for me on this diet, because had I gone into another diet, I would have already had problems. But the whole thing is just
But you're
interesting
making
to me.
You're making good your DBRs are amazing.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's just that dang hunger. I hate it.
So
But
keeping those DBRs nice and low and still
yeah.
doing through a
But
struggle.
Lance, to your answer, it's like I mean, like weekly, I'm like looking at hunger and and carnivore hunger and, and ketones, and I've been looking up hackers and stuff. Nobody really has an answer, but yeah, I'm praying for it.
Are you hitting your fat macros? I mean, I'm just asking stupid questions.
Yeah, I'm hitting right now I'm hitting like anywhere from 115 to 125 now.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, Monica, I'd throw out, and maybe you've already done it, but maybe the allulose. But allulose, to get enough in you to make it have the effect of somewhat of that GLP, you've got to get like a lot. Like I think that's like close to half a cup. Like
and see, I tried it for I did 2 tablespoons. I was like, dang, this is good. And then it lowered my ketones. And that was after the holidays. So I'm kind of scared to do that, because then you pointed out, because I was like, why is this doing the, lowering my ketones? And then you pointed out that it's got carbs, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So yeah.
So again, find a balance, but it might be a little trick. Maybe you could find a happy medium between, some people say the carbs don't affect, some people say you're going to have to play with your body and see if it affects
Yeah.
your body. But it may be that little bit of GLP-1 stimulus that's in that allulose may help you a little bit. It would be worth a try for a little bit. I wouldn't go so far to where your numbers totally tank out, but doing it consistently enough that you could see that glucose maybe starting to come down, ketones going up, and maybe getting rid of some of the hunger. I don't know. Yeah, again, it's worth a try.
I'm gonna ask another stupid question, but it's something simple. I've overlooked in the past. You have your chronometer set up correctly. Whether you want to gain or lose weight or maintain weight, that slider is correct, correct?
Yeah, I have it under not what is it called? It not the strenuous or like
Rigorous.
Rigorous.
Vigorous, yeah. Rigorous, yes.
Okay, there's also a section in there to whether it tells you how much you can gain or lose in a week.
Hmm.
So take a
Make
look
sure
at
that, yeah.
make sure that is, because that'll change your macros as well. Because it almost
good
sounds
thinking.
like you're not getting enough fat. I went through a struggle where I was starving.
Me too.
I mean, I was 200 pounds and I was freaking starving. And it was like, I can't lose any more weight, but she would say, "You're not hungry." I said, "The hell I am. I'm hungry. I'm not getting enough." And come to find out, my chronometer was set wrong. So I wasn't getting enough fat that I needed.
Yeah.
When you
Well,
say,
I've done the 3-to-1 ratio. I know that because now I upped my protein as well by 20 grams. So
okay,
But still, even what he's talking about, that slider, he's got a good point there. Go to that slider and make sure it
Okay.
is set to either gain or maintain or
Or-
lose,
Okay.
whichever one you need, because that's going to change that number on the front end. So
Okay,
that's
I'm writing
actually
that down.
really good idea to check. So good.
because I mean, right now I do run a lot. So, but even though I'm at where I'm at 219 grams of fat a day. That is my baseline. It used to be when I was really losing weight a lot, when I had it set to lose a lot more, I was higher in my fat grams. I was actually up at the 270 mark. So I was having to get 270 grams of fat a day is what my system learned to run on.
That's
So
crazy because I mean
it's
I'm tiny and I'm
it
like
was
getting
nuts.
180.
Yeah, and I don't know your whole thing, but just make sure that chronometer is set the way you
Okay.
want it set.
I'll look at that. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody, Joanne, do you want to come check in? Can you get in for a minute, or if not? Couple of now, while Joanne's checking in if she wants to, I want to remind everybody, I have a doctor's appointment, or come on in, Audrey. Sorry.
I'm not muted. Lance, that whole chronometer meter thing that you've been talking about, is that only on the gold version?
No, it's I had the free version, so you can go into
Can
your
you do a
Mac.
screenshot and put it in Facebook?
Yeah.
Then I can have a look at it,
Mhm.
please.
I think we have I think that's on the video too. We can show you on the video to make sure you fix
I
it.
had a look on your video. I didn't see that. Maybe I
Okay.
didn't know what. Yeah.
Okay, and make sure you go I think getting on it on the laptop too, or on the computer is a little easier to
Yeah.
see that grid
I was
too.
trying to copy a food yesterday, and on my phone it would not. So it's much easier on the computer.
It is.
And
Sometimes.
there's one other thing too I want to tell Monica too. Make sure you update your weight if you have lost weight since you first put your profile. Okay, I just want to, because that matters too, because it's all a mathematical formula in chronometer. As your weight changes, you need to update that. So like mine was set at 225. Right now I'm under 220. So now I got to go back and change that weight so that calculation of my fat and my proteins change again. So just remember that that's a constant evolving process.
Yeah. Now I've kind of let go of the fact that I'm not ever gonna lose weight in the way I'm eating.
You will get there. Don't even go there. You're doing too much hard work. You will get there. So a couple things I want to throw out. Next Tuesday, I have a doctor's appointment with my plastic surgeon that I can't miss this one. And The girls need some work again. So I have to go to this appointment. So there will be no Tuesday at 2:00 class next week. We will be fine I'll be home for the 7 and the 8:30, the normal one. There just won't be that extra 2:00 one in the afternoon for the beginners. And we can either, if anybody has any questions or anything, either you're welcome to come into the 7 and ask there, or message me or put something over in the group. But we will get there. Other one, make sure anybody planning on Hack Your Health, we're going to start getting some things going for Hack Your Health. We've got to get time to start planning. It's in November, but use our code JTK and it will save you $100 off that ticket. And so those are going to be fun things that we got looking forward to coming up, but start planning now so we can all meet up there. It'll be great. It's a good one. Robin does an amazing job with Hack Your Health. It's just one of them that are near and dear to our hearts. So we will be there. Come in the group. If you are fasting, check in on that fasting one that starts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That'll be in there every week for the next 5 weeks. And if you're just starting out or just checking in, not fasting, that's okay too. Go in under that daily accountability and put your numbers there so you could go back and refer to them so you can notice how far you've come, what you're doing, what you need to be doing, things like that. So if anybody needs anything, let us know. If not, we will see you over in the group all week. We love y'all and have a
great week, guys.
Have a good week, guys.